Okay. In this session, we'll be talking about the Mendelian aspect of the heredity and inheritance. Mendel is also known as the father of this field. He was the first to work and use mathematics to formulate the principles of inheritance and variation in case of organisms. But before I start, I would just like to share a video to take us back in time. Just let me know, is the sound sound audible? I'm just sharing it. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible.
Just a second.
The 19th century, and a man named Gregor Mendel. Mendel was an Austrian monk and biologist who loved to work with plants. By breeding the pea plants he was growing in the monastery's garden, he discovered the principles that rule heredity. In one of the most classic examples, Mendel combined a purebred yellow-seeded plant with a purebred green-seeded plant, and he got only yellow seeds. He called the yellow color trait the dominant one, because it was expressed in all the new seeds. Then he let the new yellow-seeded hybrid plants self-fertilize, and in this second generation he got both yellow and green seeds, which meant that the green trait had been hidden by the dominant yellow. He called this hidden trait the recessive trait. From those results, Mendel inferred that each trait depends on a pair of factors, one of them coming from the mother and the other from the father. Now we know that these factors are called alleles and represent the different variations of a gene. Depending on which type of allele Mendel found in each seed, we can have what we call a homozygous pea, where both alleles are identical, and what we call a heterozygous pea, when the two alleles are different. This combination of alleles is known as genotype, and its result, being yellow or green, is called phenotype. To clearly visualize how alleles are distributed amongst descendants, we can use a diagram called the Punnett square. You just place the different alleles on both axes, and then you figure out the possible combinations. Let's look at Mendel's peas, for example. Let's write the dominant yellow allele as an uppercase Y, and the recessive green allele as a lowercase y. The uppercase y always overpowers its lowercase friend, so the only time you get green babies is if you have two lowercase y's. In Mendel's first generation, the yellow homozygous pea mom will give each pea kid a yellow dominant allele, and the green homozygous pea dad will give a green recessive allele, so all the pea kids will be yellow heterozygous. Then, in the second generation, where the two heterozygous kids marry, their babies could have any of the three possible genotypes, showing the two possible phenotypes in a 3-to-1 proportion. But even peas have a lot of characteristics. For example, besides being yellow or green, peas may be round or wrinkled. So we could have all these possible combinations: round yellow peas, round green peas, wrinkled yellow peas, and wrinkled green peas. To calculate the proportions for each genotype and phenotype, we can use a Punnett square too. Of course, this will make it a little more complex. And lots of things are more complicated than peas, like, say, people. These days, scientists know a lot more about genetics and heredity, and there are many other ways in which some characteristics are inherited.
So I think all of us in class 10th, we teach this topic, heredity. And I feel that बच्चे सब attempt कर लेते हैं, but जब heredity के crosses के question attempt करने की बारी आती है, they prefer not to do it. Am I right or wrong? Please share your views. Let it be an interactive session. बच्चे गलतियां करते ही करते हैं जब हम heredity के questions या numericals की बात करते हैं. Yes, biology teachers and even the science teachers going for board checking. I think this is a common observation that all of us must have seen, that heredity के questions में कहीं ना कहीं गलती हो जाती है. Yes, everyone, am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
audible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So we'll start with Mendel's law of inheritance. Before I begin, these are some important terms that I think all of us, we know, and we start our lesson with these explanations. Genetics is the study of inheritance, heredity, and variation. Whatever is on our genes, whatever information the chromosomes are having, the branch of science that deals with this is genetics. Then we have inheritance. Inheritance is the transmission of characters from parents to progeny. This inheritance mechanisms forms the fundamental or the basis of heredity. And in between the inheritance of characters, since animals and human beings are sexually reproducing organisms, there are two different types of gametes. So this leads to variation. Variation are the offsprings and parents being similar and not identical. The striking difference between asexual and sexual reproduction, apart from the absence and presence of gamete, is the variation that we see in parents and offsprings. Then we talk about character and trait. Any heritable feature which can be transmitted from parents to offspring is a character, and the variations of these character are the trait. For example, like when we study about the monohybrid cross, the character is the plant height, and the trait can be that the plant height is tall or it is dwarf. So this is first point of confusion that I feel the students have. They try to relate character and trait synonymously. They are not clear with what is a character and what is a trait. In this session, I'll be basically talking about the confusions or the errors that students they do while attempting the questions of heredity, be it numericals or subjective questions, and what all criteria or what all parameters or value points are given by CBSE in their marking scheme. Since this topic is both in 10th and 12th, so I'll be taking the common errors, the common principles that or the standard SOPs that are there while checking also. So next term is alleles or allelomorphs. Since we know that in case of sexual reproduction, both the parents are contributing the alleles, one from either parent. So those two alternative forms of a gene are the alleles. Then there can be two conditions for these pair of alleles. They can be homozygous or heterozygous. When both the copies are same, as you can see in the example, I'll be those who are non-biology teachers, I'll be explaining these also again in the next part of the presentation. Homozygous are when both the alleles are same. Any condition which is having both the copies same is homozygous. Obviously, again, it can be of two types: homozygous dominant, as we can see the capital letters, or homozygous recessive, as we can see small t, and small y. Next condition is heterozygous. Hetero means different. When there is different allele in the zygote, right? Just breaking the word. So this condition where both the alleles are dissimilar is the heterozygous condition. Example, as we can see here, capital T small t or capital Y small y. Again, next important term is the dominant character and the recessive character. Those types of traits that can be expressed, the character that can be seen phenotypically in the offspring, even in heterozygous condition. That means when if one copy of the allele is present, as you can see here, this capital T denotes tall and small t denotes dwarf. So phenotypically, the plant will be tall, as tallness is a dominant trait and recessive trait is the dwarf height. Similarly, for a recessive character, we say that it is suppressed or masked in the heterozygous condition. अगर मैं इस capital T small t पे आऊं तो यहाँ पे express सिर्फ tall height होगी. Small t trait will not be expressed as it will be a dwarf condition. Recessive characters, they need both the copies to be expressed. Like if we see this example, this small t will lead to expression of a dwarf height. And this small y will lead to the pea seeds being yellow in color. So for any recessive trait to be expressed, it is important that both the alleles, both the copies are inherited from the parent. Phenotype is the physical expression of the character, be it height, be it skin color, hair, eye color. And genotype is the genetic constitution. For example, if I talk about capital T, phenotypically or visually, if I say, this plant will have tall height. Similarly, capital T, small t will also have a tall height. But if I talk about the genetic constituent of both of these, here it is in homozygous condition. Both the alleles are a capital T, and here it is in heterozygous condition. One is dominant, another is recessive. But जब ये दोनों express होंगे in the progeny, both of these will give tall plants. एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 बार टी आया है तो हाइट ज्यादा होगी और 1 बार टी आया तो हाइट कम होगी. As per Mendelian genetics, as per the laws of inheritance given by Mendel, there is no quantitative inheritance in this type of principles and laws that he has put forward. Obviously, later on, as and when studies were done on genetics, when more and more scientists were agreeing with Mendelian principles and they were discovering new phenomenon, later it was found that there are some variations in Mendelian laws also. There are some phenomena which do not follow Mendelian inheritance, and those were categorically put under non-Mendelian inheritance, which I'll be also dealing with towards the end of the session. And last is the hybrid. Hybrid is when an individual is formed out of mating of genetically unlike parent. This is mostly in case of plants. Now, we all know Gregor Mendel is the father of genetics. He is actually the first person to put forth that there is something, there is a field, there is a branch of science which deals with inheritance, which deals with the mechanism of transmittance of characters and variations from one generation to another. And we all know that Mendel conducted his hybridization experiments on garden pea, the scientific name being Pisum sativum. And since we follow the binomial nomenclature, so it is printed or typed, so it is italics. I always tell my students that whenever you are writing scientific nomenclature or scientific name, you should underline it. Although हम boards में इसके marks deduct नहीं करते, but as a practice, this should always be told to students that keep on underlining the scientific name so that when they are going for their higher education, ये errors वहां ना करें वो. Now, Mendel chose pea plant जो normally मटर होता है. क्यों? क्योंकि there were 7 pairs, some characters which were contrastingly different. ऐसे कैरेक्टर्स पी प्लांट में विजिबल थे जो देख के बता सकता है कोई भी कि ये, अगर मैं हाइट की बात कर रही हूँ तो इस पी प्लांट में या तो मुझे टॉल प्लांट्स मिल रहे हैं या मुझे ड्रॉफ प्लांट्स मिल रहे हैं. एज यू कैन सी हियर इन दिस इमेज, अगेन फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर दैट ही स्टडीड वाज स्टेम हाइट. नाउ बिफोर मेंडेलियन कैलकुलेशन, मेंडल ने अपनी कैलकुलेशंस और प्रिंसिपल्स बाद में दिए थे, but by observing certain characters, he took these 7 pair of contrasting character to study genetics or to do his calculation about inheritance of characters. अब उससे पहले मेंडल ने स्टडी करने से पहले तो लॉज नहीं दी थी, but how could he make out कि ये कैरेक्टर डोमिनेंट होगा या ये कैरेक्टर रिसेसिव होगा. वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चन जो एनसीईआरटी में भी है, ये आता है that population A and B were seen and A was more in number. The character A population was having was more in number and B was lesser in number. So what are your conclusions about this scenario? So by seeing a trait occurring in majority of population, it was not used कि dominant word नहीं use किया गया था because तब तक वो word as a law of dominance में नहीं आया था. बट यस, एक थोड़ा सा कंक्लूसिव रिजल्ट ये आ गया था कि टॉल हाइट इज मोर कॉमन इन पी प्लांट एज कंपेयर टू ड्रॉफ हाइट. सिमिलरली, second character that Mendel studied was flower position. Flower position can be axial, that is on both the axis, or it can be terminal at the end point of the stem. Flower color, dominant being violet color flowers and recessing being white color flowers. Then the pod shape, द शेप जो हम मटर का छिलका होता है उसको पॉट कहते हैं. वो या तो पूरा इन्फ्लेटेड मतलब पूरा स्मूथ हो सकता है या फिर इट कैन बी कंस्ट्रिक्टेड. कभी कभी जब हम मटर छीलते हैं तो मटर के दानों की शेप ले लेता है वो छिलका, दैट इज अ कंस्ट्रिक्टेड पॉट. देन पॉट कलर, इट कैन बी ग्रीन और इट कैन बी येलो. सीड शेप, इट कैन बी राउंड और रिंकल्ड and seed color can be yellow and green. Now, one error that I think students do is writing the alphabet or using the alphabet that they have to for solving the question. So, I always tell my students that whenever there is a question, and if you know that this particular trait is dominant or recessive, then always use the letter of the dominant trait. For example, अगर हम tall और dwarf की बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं capital T यूज करूंगी tall के लिए, और dwarf के लिए मैं यूज करूंगी small t. ऐसा नहीं है टी टॉल के लिए मैंने टी यूज कर लिया और ड्रॉफ के लिए मैंने डी यूज कर लिया, दैट इज रॉन्ग. Always we tell our students that you should use the dominant character alphabet. If it is tall, then T. Similarly, अगर fra position होगा तो axial है, तो I will use A for axial and small a for terminal. Similarly, flower position है, flower color है, V and W नहीं यूज करेंगे यहाँ पे हम, we will use small v. And chord shape I and small I. So these are some errors we see in answer sheets also, कि बच्चे ने कॉन्सेप्ट तो चलो थोड़ा बहुत जैसे उसको समझ आया, बट उसने अलील ही गलत यूज करे हैं. उसने एक when we are studying one pair of contrasting character, that child has written both different alphabets, which is totally incorrect. It does not justifies the laws of inheritance of a monohybrid cross, because we are studying only one pair of character. So this is one common error that I have seen students doing quite often, that they are not well versed with the naming or nomenclature when they are making the inheritance cross. Now, first exercise that Mendel did before doing his or formulating his laws was the monohybrid cross. Before I get into this, I would like to share a video. Just give me 1 second. I'll just share a video. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Is the sound audible
yes,
for the
ma'am.
video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Gregor Mendel was frustrated.
Verflixt!
He'd studied the work of other plant hybridizers closely, but their observations were general and their conclusions fuzzy. Mendel had noticed regular patterns in the hybrid flowers he grew. He decided to track traits across generations. He chose the garden pea for his experiments because it had clearly defined traits. He focused on 7 contrasting pairs of traits and crossed plants that differed for each trait. To create hybrids, Mendel cross-fertilized parent plants by hand. When his first crop of hybrids grew, they exhibited the characteristics of only one parent. Mendel called this trait the dominant one. The other trait had disappeared, but not forever. When Mendel left these plants to fertilize themselves, the hidden trait returned in the next generation, outnumbered 3 to 1 by the dominant trait. Mendel called this trait recessive. Mendel realized that whatever was governing the recessive traits was still there in the first hybrids, deep down in their cells, and had been transmitted to the second generation. Mendel let these hybrids self-fertilize too. In their offspring and in later generations, a pattern emerged. Mendel did the math and concluded that whatever determined the traits, he called them elements, we call them genes, were present in the parents in pairs, but split during reproduction, passing to the offspring in a predictable way. Mendel went on to cross peas that differed in more than one trait. The first generation plants were all the same, all dominant traits. But the second had every possible combination of traits, again in regular patterns. Mendel concluded that the elements governing those traits were not passed on together. Mendel conducted these experiments over multiple generations, patiently growing plants, counting peas, and recording patterns for 8 years.
So Mendel did his work in pea plant. We all know this by now. Now, first exercise or first process that Mendel took or undertake for establishing his law of inheritance, all the laws that he had given. First was monohybrid clause. Mono means one. So when one pair of contrasting characters was studied, for example, if I'm talking about plant height, so that one pair of contrasting character is tall or dwarf. So here, what error the student does, I would just want to discuss that. Okay, my is the whiteboard visible? Is the whiteboard visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, during Mendelian inheritance, जब हम monohybrid cross की बात करते हैं, तो in case of monohybrid cross, we are taking only one pair of contrasting character. So here, if I talk about plant height, as we all know that plant height, here it can be either it can be tall or it can be dwarf. जब भी क्रॉस शुरू करना है बच्चे, ये क्वेश्चन में भी आता है, क्वेश्चन की कभी कभी लाइन होती है कि अ प्योर ब्रीडिंग टॉल प्लांट और अ प्योर ब्रीडिंग और अ ट्रू ब्रीडिंग प्लांट, तो ये टर्म कभी कभी वो समझ नहीं पाते. कहीं पे भी प्योर ब्रीडिंग लिखा है, ट्रू ब्रीडिंग लिखा है, then it means it is in homozygous condition where both the alleles are same. Now we know that tall is a dominant character. So since it is a pure breeding plant, so allele will be capital T, and dwarf again is a pure breeding plant, so small t. और जब भी inheritance crosses शुरू करने हैं, the parents will always be pure breeding unless it is mentioned in the question that it is heterozygous or homozygous. Other than that, student should always start the inheritance process with pure breeding plants. Now here जो थोड़ी बहुत गलतियां कर देते हैं बच्चे, वो साथ में साइड में indices नहीं लिखते. So here it should always be written that these are parents, and by the process of which type of cell division will occur here, mitosis or meiosis? Anyone? Gamete formation has to occur. Which type of cell division will occur?
Meiosis.
Meiosis. So by meiosis, gametes will be formed. Meiosis is reductional division. So gametes 50% of what the parent is having. So two gametes here, capital T and small t here. तो यहाँ पे बच्चों को लिखना चाहिए that these are gametes. Again, now fertilization has to occur. One common error that we see, students नीचे सही लिखते हैं but cross गलत बना देते हैं, line गलत बना देते हैं. This is parent 1 and this is parent 2. So the cross has to be between these two parents. बच्चे कभी कभी ये क्रॉस करके नीचे लिख देते हैं, वो भी गलत है. This is a blunder's mistake. So this is again a silly mistake that oftentimes we see in answer sheets. So first fertilization and the zygote formed will be capital T, small t. Again, the possibility of this allele to fertilize with the second is also there. So capital T, small t. Now this can fertilize with this capital T, small t. And here capital T, small t. This is the first generation. So here F1 generation should be written. And below this, the phenotype should always be mentioned. So what do you think? What type of plants will this first generation be? क्या ये tall होंगे या ये dwarf होंगे या ये medium height के होंगे, क्या होंगे? As per the understanding, they will be all tall plants. And why will they be all tall plants? Anyone? Why will they be all tall plants? Anyone?
Dominant trait is present.
Dominant trait. And because capital T is dominant, so एक कॉपी भी प्रेजेंट होगी तो वो डोमिनेंट हो जाएगा. बट जब हमने क्रॉस शुरू किया था, हमने तो प्योर ब्रीडिंग टॉल भी लिया था, ड्रॉफ भी लिया था. तो कभी कभी ये क्वेश्चन आ भी जाता है कि लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस प्रूफ करनी है, तो व्हेन फॉर F1 में हमें ड्रॉफ कैरेक्टर तो दिखा नहीं, बट F2 में एक्सप्रेशन इज सीन, सो हाउ इज दैट रेलिवेंट? So now Mendel again, when he crossed pure breeding tall and dwarf plants, F1 में तो नहीं मिला उसे dwarf plant का कोई भी plant with a dwarf height. So then he self-pollinated, taking either of the two parents. Second step should be written on self pollinating F1 hybrids. मैं हाइब्रिड इसलिए यूज कर रही हूँ क्योंकि दोनों पेरेंट्स अलग हैं. टॉल एंड ड्रॉफ बोथ आर डिफरेंट पेरेंट्स. So here next step will be crossing both the parents, capital T small t, cross with capital T small t. Again mitosis नहीं होगी, यहाँ meiosis will occur. Capital T and small t, the two gametes, capital T and small t. Now crossing these again, the first we will obtain will be capital T, capital T, capital T small t, कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी. जब हम लिखते हैं ट्रेड तो डोमिनेंट ट्रेड पहले आता है, स्मॉल टी कैपिटल टी नहीं लिखेंगे, कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी, देन लास्ट विल बी स्मॉल टी स्मॉल टी. दिस विल बिकम F2 generation or second filial generation. Now what would be the phenotype of this progeny, the first one? Will it be tall or will it be dwarf? First plant will be tall or dwarf? Both
Pure tall,
capital
ma'am.
T's are
Pure tall, ma'am.
pure tall. Yes, this will also be tall. These two,
Hybrid tall.
they will also be tall. And the last one,
Pure dwarf.
yes, this will be dwarf. So Mendel ने observe किया कि F1 में तो उसे दिखाई नहीं ड्रॉफ. सेल्फ पॉलिनेट करने के बाद द रिसेसिव और द लीस्ट present or the character present in lesser number of plants, it reappeared in F2. So this findings of monohybrid cross, it gave way for law of dominance. Now इस F2 से या फिर मैं कहूँ मोनोहाइब्रिड क्रॉस से हम दो टाइप के रेशियोज और पता कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट इज द phenotype ratio or the phenotypic ratio. Now phenotype means the physical expression of character. Now how many tall are we getting in F2? 1, 2, 3, right? We are getting 3 tall. Everyone with me? And we are getting 1 dwarf. So phenotype का मतलब होता है कैरेक्टर दिख कैसा रहा है, फिजिकली क्या एक्सप्रेस हुआ इन द ऑर्गेनिज्म. So the phenotypic ratio here will be 3:1 because we are seeing 3 times tall and 1 times dwarf. So अगर मुझे इसको परसेंटेज में कंप्यूट करना है, यहाँ पे भी कुछ कुछ गलतियां कभी कभी हो जाती हैं, तो मैंने एक सिंपल सा मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला बच्चों को बताया हुआ है दैट इफ यू आर आस्क्ड टू टेल अबाउट द परसेंटेज ऑफ एनी कैरेक्टर, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई हैव टू टॉक अबाउट टॉल, देन कितनी बार टॉल आया, 1 2 3 आउट ऑफ टोटल कॉम्बिनेशंस 1 2 3 4. और जब भी परसेंटेज निकालनी है तो into 100 करना ही करना है. सो दिस मीन्स 75%. और इन अदर वर्ड्स, जैसे मैं बच्चों को बोलती हूँ याद रखे, मार्क्स ऑब्टेन्ड अपॉन टोटल मार्क्स. सो ऐसे उनको परसेंटेज अपनी निकालनी तो आती है अपने रिजल्ट की, सो दे commit less error whenever I give them calculation questions. So if I have to talk about the percentage of a dominant trait in case of a monohybrid cross, irrespective हम कौन सा कैरेक्टर स्टडी कर रहे हैं, जब भी डोमिनेंट कैरेक्टर की बात होगी इन सेकेंड जनरेशन 75% of the offsprings will have a dominant character. Similarly, अगर मुझे इसका recessive की calculation करनी है, if I have to talk about the percentage of dwarf, so here out of the 4, I have 1 occurrence of the dwarf trait. So into 100, so this will be 25%. Or what we can do is 100 minus the dominant, which will also give us 25. So it doesn't matter कि हम कौन सा कैरेक्टर स्टडी कर रहे हैं. अगर हम मोनोहाइब्रिड की बात कर रहे हैं, अगर हम एक पेयर ऑफ कंट्रास्टिंग कैरेक्टर दे रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं फ्लावर पोजिशन की बात करूं तो एक्सियल और टर्मिनल जब करेंगे तब भी सेम रेशो आएगा, इट डजंट मैटर. सो दिस इज द मोनोहाइब्रिड लॉ, जो लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस प्रूफ करती है. Let me just change my screen. Is the presentation visible? Okay. Now, instead of the cross, we can also make this square, that is the Punnett square or the checkerboard. दोनों ही side length and breadth पे आप दोनों gametes लिख सकते हो from parent 1 and parent 2, and then crossing the two, tall tall and dwarf, and जब भी जाइगोट बनेगा तो उसके नीचे जो एक्सपेक्टेड फिनोटिपिक कैरेक्टर है वो जरूर लिखना चाहिए। कभी कभी उसके भी मार्क्स होते हैं, अगर 5 मार्क का क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, जैसे लास्ट ईयर सॉरी 5 मार्क का डबल डाई हाइब्रिड क्रॉस आ गया था, तो उसमें जगह जगह मार्क्स आते हैं। सो अगेन दिस इज वन पॉइंट वेयर मार्क्स कैन बी डिडक्टेड। देन similar observations were made in all these 7 pair of characters जो मेंडल ने स्टडी किए थे, सब में ही उसे मोनोहाइब्रिड रेशियो सिमिलर मिले थे। और कहीं पे अगर जैसे यहाँ पे 2.96:1 आ रहा है, यहाँ 3.15:1 आ रहा है, तो प्लांट का भी हाफ हाफ तो नहीं हो सकता है ना, सो दे आर ऑलवेज राउंडेड ऑफ। तो स्टैंडर्ड रेशियो फॉर F2 फिनोटिपिक विल ऑलवेज रिमेन 3:1। ये तो था फिनोटिपिक रेशियो। नाउ इफ आई हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द जीनोटाइप, जीनोटाइप मीन्स कि जेनेटिकली दिस इज, जैसे मैम सेड प्योर टॉल एंड दिस इज हाइब्रिड टॉल और हेटेरोजाइगस टॉल। So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 1. Genetically, these 3 tall are different. This is a pure tall or a dominant homozygous tall. This is a heterozygous tall. So the genotypic ratio in case of a monohybrid cross will be 1:2:1. Now I'll quickly go through the dihybrid cross because it's already 5:40. Dihybrid cross में di means 2. When 2 pairs of contrasting characters are taken up, that means instead of just one plant height, another character trait, that is any trait जो हम classic example अपनी class में use करते हैं, that is seed shape and seed color. So here when I'm taking 2 pairs of character, seed shape में जो dominant character है वो है round and recessive is wrinkled. So alphabet will be round and capital R and small r. Second example in NCERT is seed color. So here seed color, the dominant color is yellow and recessive is green. So the alphabet will be capital Y and small y. Now if I have to write a dihybrid cross, that means I have to study both of these pairs together. So I'll be taking, क्योंकि जब मैंने क्रॉस शुरू किया था, I said that हमेशा प्योर ब्रीडिंग प्लांट से हम अपना पेरेंट का क्रॉस शुरू करेंगे, चाहे वो मोनोहाइब्रिड है चाहे डाईहाइब्रिड है। नाउ हियर if I have to take a dihybrid cross, if I have to take 2 pairs of contrasting characters, dominant parent will be crossed with recessive parent. Let's erase it. So the parents in case of dihybrid cross will be round and yellow crossed with wrinkled green. दोनों ही डोमिनेंट एक तरफ और रिसेसिव एक तरफ। यहाँ गेमीट्स आर सी, बच्चों को यहाँ गलती होती है, मैंने काफी बार आंसर शीट में देखा है बच्चे ऐसे लिख देते हैं, ये गलत है। कैरेक्टर दोनों इकट्ठे स्टडी करने हैं, तो 50% ऑफ दीज, जैसे यहाँ 2 आर है तो 1 आर हियर 1 हियर, दिस इज हाउ आई एक्सप्लेन देम व्हेन आई स्टार्ट टीचिंग दिस चैप्टर, एंड सिंगल हियर, तो 50% either of the traits are distributed in the gametes. Similarly ry R1, और जब इसका F1 बनेगा तो द कॉमन जीनोटाइप विल बी कैपिटल R स्मॉल r कैपिटल Y स्मॉल y। यहां तक तो सब ठीक है। अगेन F1 जनरेशन, अगेन जब इसका सिमिलरली we'll be doing F2, we'll be self pollinating. So one error that students, or one difficulty that students face is the gametes of F2 F1 parents. If I have to cross this, तो इसमें जो गेमीट्स बनेंगे वो बच्चे कभी कभी गलत कर देते हैं। सो आई शेयर दिस वन ट्रिक दैट आई लर्न, दैट आई वाज टॉट व्हेन आई वाज डूइंग माय ग्रेजुएशन बाय आवर टीचर्स, बिकॉज वहां पे तो हम ट्राई टेट्रा पॉलीहाइब्रिड क्रॉसेस भी पढ़ते थे। सो आई ऑलवेज टेल देम कि यहाँ पे आपको 2 अलग अलग टाइप के अल्फाबेट्स दिख रहे हैं या 2 अलग अलग पेयर ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स दिख रहे हैं, पिक वन पेयर। सो इफ आई एम टेकिंग द सीड शेप, दिस इज R and R, एक मैंने डोमिनेंट ले लिया, एक मैंने रिसेसिव ले लिया। नाउ राउंड seed can be yellow also, it can be green also. Similarly, a wrinkled seed can be yellow also, it can be green also. So जो पहला गेमीट, अब गेमीट कैसे बनेगा इससे? दिस विल बी द फर्स्ट गेमीट RY, this will be the second gamete R small y, third gamete R capital Y, fourth gamete RY. These are the 4 gametes that will be formed from one parent, again crossing it with the other. So similarly, same 4 gametes will be formed here. I hope it's clear the trick that I was trying to explain. And इसी में अगर कभी ट्राई हाइब्रिड क्रॉस, वैसे तो 10th के लेवल तक नहीं आता ट्राई हाइब्रिड, बट अगर इसी का ट्राई हाइब्रिड क्रॉस के गेमीट्स बनाने पड़े तो वो कैसे करेंगे? सेम, अगर A और स्मॉल a, तो फर्स्ट कॉपी ऑफ गेमीट्स। अब इसी में अगर मुझे नेक्स्ट लेवल जाना है, अगर मुझे थर्ड पेयर ऑफ अलील लेना है, तो कैपिटल C स्मॉल c, capital C small c. So the first pair will be this A, B, C. Then here A, B, small c. Then A, B, capital C, A, B, small c. Similarly for this A, B, capital C, A, B, small c, A, B, capital C, and all homozygous recessive. So ऐसे हम इसको बढ़ा सकते हैं and we can easily draw the gametes. But 10th level तक सिर्फ डाइहाइब्रिड क्रॉस ही आता है. कभी कभी 12th में आ जाता है कि write the number of gametes that will be formed अगर टेट्रा और ट्राइहाइब्रिड है, but that is बहुत सालों से वो क्वेश्चन नहीं आया. So similarly this cross can be made, and I'll just come back to this here. Is the screen visible? I've changed the screen. Please visible. So the findings of the dihybrid cross, these 4 possibilities are possible. The seeds can be round and yellow, round and green, wrinkled yellow, and wrinkled green, because these 4 types of gametes were there when we talked about the dihybrid cross. So again, here the phenotypic ratio of these 4 combination of 4 possibilities is 9:3:3:1, and the genotypic ratio is 1:1, 2:4:2, 1:1. Depending upon the genetic combination of the zygotes that are formed after fertilization of gametes. अब यहाँ पे कभी कभी numerical question आ जाता है. I would like to discuss a few numerical questions which have been asked in board exams. I have the question here. Okay. Is the question visible? Is the screen visible to everyone? Okay. So here the question, ये कुछ time पहले exam में आया था. Gregor Mendel used a number of visible contrasting characters of garden peas like round and yellow wrinkled seeds and data from the inheritance of F2. बच्चे कभी कभी ये नहीं पढ़ते कि F2 generation है. That means already they have the ratio of 9:3:3:1, and it is showing, it is mentioned that 2 pairs are studied. The seed shape is also mentioned here, first pair, and plant height is also mentioned here. So by reading this is actually a competency based question, the 4-marker question that we have in section E. So here, just by reading the question, the first 2 lines, it is very much evident that this is about a dihybrid cross and not a monohybrid cross. So the observations are such that round and yellow seeds were 315, round and green were 108, wrinkled yellow 101, and wrinkled green were 32. So first question is that what will be the phenotype and genotype of F1 generation and parental generation? Anyone would like to try this question? Okay, let's start with the parental generation. What would be the genotype of the parents? Anyone? I know there are a lot of biology teachers also here. Anyone would like to try? We are having tall and dwarf. We are having the plant height and seed shape. Anyone? Vandana ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. The font size is very small, actually.
I'll just increase it. Is it visible to everyone now?
Yes. Parents round and yellow. One parent will be round and yellow colored seed. RR, capital RR, capital YY.
So
And
here,
another one is small RR and small YY.
so the cross, so
Parent,
अभी हमने
parental generation.
हाँ जी मैम, जो हमने अभी क्रॉस डाइहाइब्रिड क्रॉस डिस्कस किया था. So here we are having round and yellow seeds, as ma'am said rightfully. So RRYY and small r, small y. So parental genotype and phenotype, genotype genetic combination we have written. This will be round and yellow. This will be wrinkled green. And F1 generation जब cross बनेगा तो we know RRYY will be the F1 genotype and phenotype. Again round and yellow. The dominant character will be expressed. Now next is what are gametes? This can be answered. And how many types of gametes can be produced by this genotype? That is capital Y and small r, small r. So जब gametes बनेंगे तो similar gametes will be formed. So we can say one type of gametes can be formed here by capital Y and capital R, capital R. Identify the cross that carried out here. This is because we are studying two pairs of contrasting character. So it is a dihybrid cross. And what will be the total number of F2 progeny with parental phenotype? Parents are round and yellow and wrinkled green. So round and yellow 315 and wrinkled green 32. Parental character will be 312 plus 315 plus 32. ये एक question, I think 2 years back, this question was asked in board exam, जब term 1, term 2 वाला year था, कि parental और non-parental character. The two first and last are actually the parental combinations that are जिनसे हमने cross शुरू किया था. But the round and green and wrinkled yellow, these are non-parental. These are hybrid characters that were inherited in the process. So these types of questions can also be asked. They are asked regularly, where parental and non-parental characters have to be identified. And again, last is calculate the percentage of small I, R and capital, small y, capital R in this parent. So if we have to draw the gamete here, so this will be YR and so this will be roughly 50%. So इस तरीके के data analytical questions board में आते हैं. And again, this ELO question was also there in one of the papers few years back. Where by observing the given data, like free ELO was in more number of students and attached was in few. So what does it suggest about the free and attached ELOs? Then one is dominant or occurring in more number of individuals, and one is recessive occurring in less number of individuals. Then crosses based on this trait free and attached ELO. कभी कभी जीनोटाइप नहीं भी लिखा होता, तो बच्चों को ये हम वैसे समझाते ही हैं that free ELO dominant trait है और attached ELO एक recessive trait है. So इस तरीके के questions board में आते हैं, पर ये होते easy हैं, but somehow students they end up not doing it. So this was about dihybrid cross. Now Mendel ने 3 laws दिए. Law of dominance we have done, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. Independence assortment says that जब 2 या 2 से ज्यादा pair of character inherit हो गए, so both of these characters are inherited independently. मतलब seed color और seed shape का आपस में कोई लेना देना नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि green color की seed हमेशा wrinkled होगी या yellow color की seed हमेशा round होगी. It can be in any which way. Both of these, seed shape and seed color, are inherited irrespective of the other character. So this was Mendelian principles. Slight deviation from Mendelian principles is some features or some phenomena which do not follow Mendelian laws. All these the laws, inheritance rules that were stated by Mendel, जहाँ dominance की बात है, recessive की बात है, parental, non-parental types की बात है, phenotype, genotype कैसे F1, F2 में होंगे. These are some inheritances which do not follow Mendelian law. पहला है incomplete dominance, second is codominance and multiple allelism. Normally हमें पता है एक trait के दो ही copies possible है, but here more than two was seen. Then polygenic inheritance and pleiotropy. I'll just quickly go through it. This is actually for class 12th, but I'll just go through it in brief. नॉर्मली जब हम मोनोहाइब्रिड क्रॉस करते हैं तो अगर मैं फ्लावर कलर की बात करूं रेड और व्हाइट, और मैं कह रही हूँ कि रेड डोमिनेंट है, तो मुझे F1 में रेड ही दिखेगा, और F2 में मुझे 3 रेड और 1 व्हाइट दिखेगा, 3:1 का रेशियो. बट हियर इन दिस स्नैपड्रैगन प्लांट एंड मिराबिलिस जलापा, हियर instead of red in F1, pink colored flower was seen. So an intermediate of both the parents, red and white ka intermediate, which is a pink color, that was seen in heterozygous condition. मतलब जो हम कैपिटल आर स्मॉल आर कंडीशन को भी रेड लिखते अगर मेंडल की लॉ फॉलो करता, यहाँ पे वो पिंक कलर शो कर रहा था. सो दिस वाज डेविएशन फ्रॉम मेंडेलियन इनहेरिटेंस. सेकेंड डेविएशन इज कोडोमिनेंस विच इज सीन इन ह्यूमन ब्लड ग्रुप्स. नॉर्मली हम कहते हैं कि जब एक पेयर ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स इनहेरिट हो रहा है तो एक डोमिनेंट है और एक रिसेसिव है. जैसे हमने प्लांट हाइट की बात करी, सीड कलर की बात करी, फ्लावर पोजिशन की बात करी. बट इन केस ऑफ ब्लड ग्रुप्स, जब तक ब्लड ए है, बी है और ओ है तब तक इट्स फाइन. बट जब ए बी टाइप ब्लड आइडेंटिफाई हुआ था बाय, so here A and B, both the alleles, they were expressed equally, both were equally dominant. ना A वाले ने B को ओवरपावर किया था, ना B वाले ने A को ओवरपावर किया था, तो ये टर्म कॉइंड हुआ कोडोमिनेंस. Now also you can see here for blood groups there are 3 alleles. Normally दो ही होते हैं, एक डोमिनेंट और एक रिसेसिव. लाइक हियर IA इज डोमिनेंट, IB इज डोमिनेंट एंड स्मॉल I इज रिसेसिव. अगर मैं मेंडेलियन इनहेरिटेंस की बात करती तो सिर्फ दो ही होते, एक रिसेसिव एक डोमिनेंट. बट हियर मोर देन 2 आर देयर, सो दिस कंडीशन इज मल्टीपल अलीलिज्म. नेक्स्ट इज पॉलीजेनिक इनहेरिटेंस, जहां पे ट्रेट ऐड होता है. मतलब अगर कैपिटल टी दो बार डोमिनेंट ट्रेट आ रहा है तो दैट विल हैव एन एडिटिव इफेक्ट on the phenotype expression. And but this is again not seen in case of Mendelian laws, Mendelian genetics. But when further studies were done तो पता चला कि skin color is a trait जो quantitative या additive effect दिखाता है, जहाँ पे dominant allele होने से darker skin मिलेगी, and जितना recessive alleles होंगे it will lead to fairer skin types. So this was about Mendelian genetics. I hope I did justice to the topic. It is actually a very lengthy topic and I tried to hide the crux of everything. And thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.